The latest development in the American government's threats to intervene in Nigeria's security challenges have emerged as Republican Senator Ted Cruz has posted on X, saying that in the next few days he will be explicitly naming the Nigerian officials that he feels should be held accountable.
President Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern. That is tremendous news. It's something that I've been advocating for a long time. There is no country on earth where Christians are more persecuted than Nigeria. Since 2009, more than 50,000 Christians have been murdered by Boko Haram and radical Islamic extremists. More than 20,000 churches and schools have been burned to the ground. I introduced legislation to direct the administration to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. President Trump has done that. Thank you, President Trump. We're going to keep the fight going to protect Christians and to protect religious liberty.
On his X account that accompanied this video, he also shared a statement, and that read, "I've been pushing for legislation to designate Nigeria as a CPC and to impose sanctions on the Nigerian officials responsible. Thank you to President Trump for his leadership in imposing the designation and, more broadly, for fighting to stop the murder of Christians in Nigeria. Now we should take the next step and hold Nigerian officials accountable. I intend to be very explicit about who they are in the coming days and weeks." Gang, gang. Rufai, you were saying you hope your name is not on the list.
Me?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm not doing.
What's
It's
your take on this?
politicians.
Yes, I
it's
know.
It's Nigerian politicians that will be asking now that, hey, hope my name is not on the list. Hope my asset in America. Hope my name is not on the list. Little wonder that we are really here, even the debate. Somebody say, don't talk about Trump. Don't talk about Trump in the past. But the truth is, the question will be, it's not just about naming names. What basis will he be naming those names? Are they going to also bring out the empirical research? Because we also run the risk of naming names out of vendetta. And it's not today politicians have been named in all of this insecurity. But some politicians have come out to say, oh, it's out of vendetta. So we would like to see based on the intelligence. So for me, it's not about the naming of names, which I wanted Cruz to name. Because it's not today we're having names. What about the names that were released in Dubai of terrorist financiers? What happened? We didn't get anything out of it. So if these names can come out, yes. But also the research behind the names, the intel. So America can release that credible intel so we can see it. But if you are just naming names and all of that, I don't think that's the way to go. We must also see the research and the rigor and the knowledge system behind it. Because, and by a lot of people have died. And we have no idea what it means to lose somebody that ought not to die. There are many cases, people have called me in the middle of the night for kidnapping and the like, and so many things like that. For killings, I mean, across this country. For Zabaramari farmers, there's lots happening. And people must be made to account for it. But most importantly, like I argue, apart from the calisthenics of the West and their own interest, we should solve that problem internally. Vimba, Nigeria has the capacity. We are ECOMOG. We shelled out $15 billion to defend other African countries and bring peace to Liberia. The peace in Liberia today, the peace in Syria alone, Nigeria did it. Why can't we do it for ourselves?
Very well said. I think it comes down to the fundamental issue that the killings must stop, the insecurity must be tackled head on, and we all need to be unified in how we decide to approach that and do that in a very effective and quick way. Well, in related news, there was a mild drama in the Nigerian Senate when the Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin criticized US President Donald Trump, insisting that Nigeria is a sovereign state and that he, Jibrin, is not afraid of Trump. Well, this followed a perceived reluctance of the Senate President to speak on Trump's threat of military intervention in Nigeria. Well, let's take a look.
Don't be scared. I can say.
I said
I'm not scared of Trump. I will say my mind.
President or a country be scared.
I'm a Nigerian. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. I'm a parliamentarian. I'm a deputy president. I can speak on behalf of Nigeria. I'm not scared of Trump.
But do not allow others to speak for you.
Don't be scared of Trump.
Get
you
something.
can say your mind about Trump.
Get something.
We are a sovereign nation.
But get something. Don't allow people to ascribe what you did not say to you.
He did wrong, but he didn't say it. That's correct. You didn't say it.
Yes.
But when
what
you
I'm
decide
saying
to say,
is that
you shouldn't be scared of saying anything.
no. If you want me to say it now, I will try to say.
We're not scared of Trump.
I will say, but then listen.
We're a sovereign nation. We're not scared of Trump.
Clark, please delete what the Deputy Senate President has said. He spoke out of tune. You are not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying this time the Senate President of Nigeria did not answer President Trump, and then that the quotation is meant to cause diplomatic row. It is the presidency that will answer President Trump.
Clark, delete those, delete what you wrote about those statements. Well, let's find out what people had to say on social media. Most people took it in a very laughable way, but let's take a look at Sir Says, I believe is pronounced, who says, intense exchange in the Senate highlights tension between defending national sovereignty and managing diplomatic narratives. Akpabio's caution contrasts sharply with Barrow's bold stance, a classic clash of protocol versus principle. That's quite an intelligent take. Cortigo also came and said, now everyone is talking. Now we are acting like people are dying, not the silence we've been having all this while. Just a tweet from Trump did all this. Go and fix the insecurity. It is not to be shouting sovereign country up and down. Then lastly, on a more humorous note, Big Fave said, Akpabio be like, no be me when I go put for problem. He doesn't want to join his name in it. Dr. Amati, your take on these issues.
No, this is my view. I think both senators are right. Yesterday, Ayo here was talking about the need for a coordinated response from government so that we don't have people either talking at cross purposes or a cacophony, of voices on the particular matter. And I think that that is the basic principle. Now, I think it's unfortunate that up to this point, we don't see that, coordinated response. Even if the Nigerian government, through the Minister of Information, through the presidency itself, through also Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Yusuf Tuga, have said, look, Nigeria is not a country of religious persecution. What we need is this coordinated response. The second point is that we've also had the advice from people saying there is need for caution so that it doesn't look like we are, provoking further Mr. Trump or that we are, being confrontational. This same Trump that has threatened that he will put boots on the ground. So, there are some people who may want to be very cautious. However, the lawmakers, whether in the Senate or the House of Representatives, they are representatives of the people. And so, in that regard, Senator Jibrin Barau is also right to say, well, I'm representing the people of a certain constituency. And we do not think that Donald Trump should dictate our sovereignty. And I think, he has the right, he's entitled, because the people in the National Assembly, they are representing Nigerians, and they have the right to speak up for their constituents and to express a particular view. So to that extent, he's right. The Senate chairman is saying he was quoted in some papers as having said something. And he said, no, he has not said anything. You can now moralize and say, well, the Senate president, who is chairman of the National Assembly, you think he should have an opinion. But if he says, no, we should be cautious, let the presidency lead the debate. Maybe he's just waiting for the presidency to take certain steps. He may be privy to certain information, and he does not want to use his chair as chairman of the National Assembly to make statements. So to that extent, I would say both men, are right from wherever they are coming from. But the Nigerian people will expect that the representatives of the people, in fact, the National Assembly, as a body, can also take a position and advise the presidency on this matter. But, if caution is the word, and you can see that even the Nigerian government is not confronting Trump directly. Yeah. They are just saying we are willing to cooperate. Whoever wants to work with us, we will work with them. The advice of the elder, Professor Akinyemi, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself should not confront Trump. So, they have all the intelligence. They are, in the seat. So they will formulate the best kind of response. And probably they are using back channels, you know, something they may not come in public to say to people. So it's about information that is available from where you are, you know, within the spectrum.
Absolutely. It is a very delicate issue, and it's important that it's not made jest of and it's not trivialized, because these are people's lives
Very
at
delicate,
stake.
because we don't want trouble in Nigeria. And then, you know, Zimbabwe people will say, well, Vimba, you are not part of their problem. Come back to Zimbabwe. We want you here.
Yeah, exactly. No, don't worry. We're here together. We're in it together.
No, she has critical assets that are Nigerian.
I will not run.
Yes.
Okay. Nigeria recognizes dual nationality. She can take her children to our country and say that the Nigerians solve their problem.
It will not come to that. It will not come to that. I have faith that it won't come to that.
Important.
Yes, caution is very important. Well, we're focusing a lot on lawmakers today. Now we turn our attention to Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, who says officials of the Nigerian Immigration Service held her for more than 20 minutes at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, allegedly withholding her international passport and leaving her stranded. A visibly upset Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan went live on Facebook, accusing the President of the Senate, that's Godswill Akpabio, of directing the Controller General of Immigration to seize her travel document and stop her from traveling out of the country.
Committed any offense? Why are you withholding my passport? Hello, fellow Nigerians. Good morning. This is Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Having completed my celebration of my second year in office, I decided to take a week off. So I'm at the airport here, and my passport is being withheld again. The same thing happened last time where my passport was seized. I have committed no offense, and there is no order from the court to withhold my passport and deny me traveling. The last time this happened, the officer in charge told us that the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, instructed them to withhold my passport and prevent me from traveling, because he said each time I travel out of the country, I smear the country's image by granting interviews out in international media. Please, can you tell them to release my passport, and this embarrassment should stop?
Well, her passport was later returned to her, and Nigerian Immigration Services did say that it was just part of normal procedure, according to them. Routine check.
Okay, so I've had many arguments as regards this Natasha's matter. In fact, somebody that worked in immigration had sent an opinion piece that said, in fact, it's a routine check that normally when senators are leaving the country, they should inform the Senate President and all of that. You know, made some arguments. Yeah, that's his argument. But all I just want to ask is, did Natasha Akpoti complain about this routine check prior to February this year, before she made those allegations against Senator Akpabio and the fight started? Please, you people answer the question on routine check. Moving on, let me talk about a matter that's more important, and that's why I was raising my hand to speak. Vimbai, I'll give you an instance of the kind of messages I receive. That's why I shout on air and I speak vigorously, and people can't understand. They think it's all theatrics. I'll read this message to you. While we're on air, Dr. Tochukwu Mbanugo, a consultant neurosurgeon at Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, has been kidnapped for a couple of days now. We have not found him. There are two possibilities. He might leave, he might not leave. A neurosurgeon. You know why this hit me? And I get emotional thinking of this. Close to 15 years ago, my father had a tumor in his spinal cord. It was because of the work of a neurosurgeon, Dr. Rabiu Taufik, that helped my father live a couple of other years before he passed in 2022. Neurosurgeons are very few. If Nigeria has up to 200 neurosurgeons, I'll be surprised.
150.
150 neurosurgeons. And one of those people are kidnapped. We might be here talking about him not making it.
It really hits home. It hits home, and it's painful to see our House of Reps, our Senate, trivialize it, rancor over other issues when we have this urgent issue on our agenda at the moment. Ayo, just one comment.
I mean, just like what you just said, and that's why we've continued to hammer on this. But going back to Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's situation, I think it's very important that the Senate President and the Senate manages this issue wisely. I'm glad that she said that, a prominent person intervened and her passport was, restored to her. But this, must end. This targeting, this, discrimination against her must end. Nigerians are watching. And she said, I think to clear the air, she said the last time it happened, not this time, she had learned that there was a Senate president who had asked her passport to be taken away in that manner. But I'm hoping that we will end this madness. Let them go ahead and concentrate on the issue of important national issues instead of this back and forth.
Okay, quickly. I think the matter should be investigated. There's nowhere in our laws where the Senate president, chairman of the National Assembly, has the powers to dictate that somebody should be stopped from traveling. Now, maybe the state, security services are the ones who can do that. There's something they call a watch list. If you are a person of interest, they can track your movement. When anybody at all, if you are a person of interest, they will check whether your name is on the list. If your name is not there, they give you back your passport. So sometimes there could be a delay. And that's why I think the PRO of immigration was saying it was a routine check. And he made a point that it didn't take a long time, that the delay was very short. But once they don't see our name in the system, so there is no politically exposed person that they will not check. If you are going, they will even ask you, where are you going? What are you going there to do? So that PRO of immigration also said he thinks it's laughable that anybody will say he's a Senate president, that they don't work with the National Assembly. They have their own protocols. So it's important to get that distinction right. However, for purposes of public education, we will say that, look, if there are concerns, those concerns should be investigated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But if you are politically exposed, they can do checks on you.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are. I think what's a key takeaway is that we need to see a diffusion, just a calming down in this tension, or what seems to be tensions, lingering tension between Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and the Senate President. All issues have been resolved now. Everything is behind us. So I hope everybody can move forward in the best interests of nation building.